After days of unusually warm summer weather, residents across Moscow were caught off guard by a powerful thunderstorm that transformed parts of the Russian capital into scenes more commonly associated with flooded coastal cities. On the evening of June 13th, a severe storm system swept across Moscow, bringing intense rainfall, strong winds, and reports of hail. What began as a typical summer thunderstorm quickly escalated into a widespread flash flooding event that disrupted transportation, flooded streets, damaged property, and left many residents struggling to navigate their neighbourhoods. According to weather reports, some northern districts of Moscow received nearly half of their average monthly rainfall in just a few hours. The sudden volume of water overwhelmed drainage systems, causing streets, underpasses and parking facilities to fill rapidly. While this was not a large-scale river flood or a citywide disaster, the localised flooding was severe enough to create major disruptions across several districts. One of the hardest hit areas was Karamishevskaya embankment, where rising water quickly submerged sections of roadway. Several vehicles became trapped as floodwaters climbed above wheel level, leaving drivers stranded and unable to move. Similar scenes unfolded on Baikal Street near Pervomayskaya metro station and in parts of Trekgorka, where roads became temporary rivers. Videos shared online showed cars partially underwater as drivers cautiously attempted to navigate through deep floodwaters. The storm also affected public transportation. Bus and tram services experienced disruptions, with some routes temporarily altered because of flooding. Near Pervomayskaya, a bus became surrounded by water as roads flooded around it. Emergency crews were forced to pump water from tram tracks to restore service in affected areas. Pedestrian underpasses were also inundated, turning normally busy walkways into flooded corridors that commuters could no longer use safely. Beyond transportation problems, the storm caused damage to businesses and buildings throughout the city. Several underground parking garages were flooded as water poured into lower levels. Ground floor shops in affected neighbourhoods also reported water damage. One of the most notable incidents occurred in the Kuzminki district at the Vysota shopping centre. Heavy rainfall reportedly damaged part of the roof, allowing water to enter the building and flood interior sections. Employees were seen working to protect merchandise, clean affected areas, and manage the ongoing situation while rain continued outside. Yet amid the disruption and inconvenience, one story emerged that captured the attention of thousands of people online. In Trekgorka, a local resident grabbed a stand-up paddleboard, commonly known as a SUP board, and headed directly into the floodwaters. Instead of using the board for recreation, he used it to help stranded motorists and residents navigate flooded streets. Videos showed him paddling through deep water, assisting drivers whose vehicles had become stuck and helping guide people to safety. The unusual sight quickly became one of the most talked about moments from the storm. Social media users praised the man's willingness to help strangers during difficult conditions. One widely shared post humorously remarked that a Muscovite on a board helped drivers, and joked that someone in Trekgorka never got a taxi. The paddleboard rescuer became a symbol of community spirit during an otherwise chaotic evening. The flooding also produced scenes that many residents described as surreal. Videos showed e-scooter riders pushing their vehicles through waist-deep water. people waded through flooded intersections, carrying bags above their heads. In some locations, residents even used paddleboards to move along streets that had effectively become waterways. One eyewitness compared Moscow to a temporary version of Venice, highlighting both the seriousness and the unusual nature of the flooding. The event also reignited discussions about urban drainage and infrastructure. Some residents questioned whether the city's stormwater systems were capable of handling increasingly intense rainfall events. Critics argued that large areas covered by pavement and asphalt reduced natural drainage, causing water to accumulate rapidly during extreme downpours. As conditions worsened, authorities responded quickly. An orange-level weather alert was issued, warning residents about dangerous conditions and potential flooding. Moscow officials deployed approximately 300 emergency response brigades, along with nearly 290 units of specialised equipment, to remove water, clear affected areas, and restore transportation routes. The city's transport department also warned residents about possible route changes and advised caution while travelling during the storm. By the morning of June 14th, rainfall had largely stopped across most of the city. Floodwaters gradually began to recede, and clean-up operations continued throughout affected districts. Fortunately, despite the dramatic scenes and widespread disruption, there have been no reports of serious injuries or fatalities linked to the flooding. For many residents, the storm served as a reminder of how quickly extreme weather can transform a modern city. Within just a few hours, familiar roads became rivers, daily routines were interrupted, and emergency crews were pushed into action. But alongside the images of flooded streets and stranded vehicles, another image remains just as memorable. A lone paddleboarder helping strangers through rising waters. Sometimes, even during unexpected disasters, the most powerful story is not the storm itself, but the people who choose to help others when it matters most. Thank you for watching. If you found this report informative, be sure to subscribe for more coverage of major weather events and breaking news stories from around the world.
О, это апокалипсис.